Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about the Netflix original series Ozark, which stars Jason Bateman and Laura Linney. Essentially, the story of this series is that a man working in Chicago is actually laundering money for a Mexican cartel. Some bad things happen, and he has to move down to the lake of the Ozarks down in Missouri, where he has to sort of set up shop and continue money laundering there. However, when he gets there, he finds out everything quite isn't as he expected, and there's actually a lot of other things going on behind the scenes in the town that he doesn't quite expect and then has to deal with. Now, I'm going to be completely honest, I was kind of unsure about this series. I saw it on Netflix and I was like, I don't really know if I want to watch it. But actually, I decided to watch it because a friend of mine recommended it to me. They said it was phenomenal, and so I decided to check it out, and I was hooked from episode number 1. This show is absolutely phenomenal. It's very much in the same vein, I would say, as Breaking Bad. However, it's able to push the envelope in certain areas and do a couple more things because it's on Netflix, which is a huge benefit, as opposed to being on AMC or any other cable television network. That sort of limits some of the subject matter that it can really push, as well as things like they can say, do, and really push those boundaries of this dirty, grimy world that they're really in. Now, the story of this series is absolutely fantastic. It really does engage you very much from the very beginning. There's a lot of things going on from this character's lives and the entire world that encompasses him and the situation that he's in. Now, I said it had me, like I said, it had me from episode number 1. This had me absolutely hooked, and I was kind of addicted to it. Like, I ran through this series pretty quick, only within the matter of days. It's about an hour per episode, but it's really great storytelling. It's obviously a little bit exaggerated. It's not that everyday story that maybe we can all relate to, but there are a lot of recurring themes throughout the series that you can sort of relate with. You can relate with the husband, the wife at certain times, certain things that the kids are going through. There's various characters that really engage you, or there's something you can sort of connect with them on. And although it may be a little bit more like fantastic or like over the top in certain areas of as far as like the storytelling goes, and not being grounded so much in reality, it's very much a realistic series. There's not like magic or anything like that, but it does very much grounded in reality. But like I said, there's certain little things that with each character that you can sort of relate to, or find one character that has that one little characteristic that you can relate to and instantly draws you to them. And that's what really makes this show, essentially, I'll call it a show, it's a series, but it's what really makes it great, is the characters are really fantastic, and the story that's built around them is just so engaging and enthralling that, again, it has you hooked from episode number 1. Now, as for the performances, Jason Bateman did a fantastic job. He really pushed himself a lot further than I've ever really seen him go. I've seen Arrested Development. I loved Arrested Development for a long time. I haven't watched any like the newer seasons since it's been on Netflix, but I very much liked Arrested Development. I remember way back in like Teen Wolf 2, I think he was the main star in that one. I've seen him off and on throughout his career, but I think this series by far is where he really pushed himself the most. His acting really improved. He really sells a lot of the things he's going through. Even though he's a little bit more cold and more distant, I think that's just sort of his personality. Not necessarily cold, but just a little bit more distant from everything. But he really does have that engaging sort of realistic feel to it, especially in Ozark. Like, it's really, really good. He really shines in Ozark, and I think this is his best role by far. But he really pushed himself even further by being not only a producer on the show, but he also directed 4 of the 10 episodes. This guy really went all in, essentially, for this series, and he really believed in it. And I can see why. It's a fantastic show. Laura Linney is also in this series and plays actually the wife of Jason Bateman, and she does absolutely fantastic as well. She's been fantastic in just about everything I've seen her in. I really liked her a lot. I think the most, though, in the Showtime drama comedy series, The Big C. This is kind of like that with the drama, not so much the comedy, but she really does a fantastic job at playing this mom who's along for this ride that she didn't really expect. She's sort of taken out of her life. But she's got a lot of other things going on. If you watch the series, I don't want to spoil it too much. But she had some other things going on previously, and it's just intermingled so well within the story that I think it's just so great and engaging to watch. And Laura Linney does a fantastic job. But the standout performance of Ozark for me was from a character named Ruth Langmore, played by Julia Garner. She's actually fantastic. She was probably my favorite character. She had the most things sort of going on other than our main protagonist, Marty, played by Jason Bateman. She really has a lot of good acting chops. She's pretty young still. I mean, she's probably about 22, 23, I would guess. Which is actually kind of surprising when I looked it up because I thought she was actually a lot younger. But I think she did fantastic, really. I mean, there was really not anything wrong with her. Her character has some pretty tough times that she's going through, but she's essentially scratching and clawing her way through life and trying to do all these various things to sort of help her family or keep her family sort of afloat. There's things that she's doing that she probably shouldn't be doing. She's been in a lot of trouble in the past. There's a ton of different things going on with this character, and she has this arc that she's going through that she hits in the sort of the mid of the series to the end of the series, where she sort of turns and really wants to be that good person. I think she did a fantastic job, Julia Garner. She did 2 thumbs up. But I think this is maybe just me, but based on this performance, I would think that she would probably be one of the best choices for a younger version of a Selena Kyle. I think these characters have a lot in common, and I think that she would actually do a fantastic job in the role of a Batman series or as that Selena Kyle role. I think she fits it very well. She has sort of that look as well as that build, I think, of a Selena Kyle, at least the young version. I mean, I don't remember the name of the girl on Gotham. She does really good too, but I think that this would be a very close runner-up if they did like a younger movie version or anything like that at some point, or maybe one gets a little bit older, I'm not sure. But I think she would be fantastic as the Selena Kyle Batman role. But again, maybe that's just me. As for negatives to the series, I don't really think that I have any. I mean, the only real negative I can think of off the top of my head is that this is only season 1. I'm kind of disappointed because it's over now, and I don't know how long we're going to have to wait for a season 2. But I really hope that they keep it very similar. I hope they don't go too far off the rails. I don't know what story direction they're going to go in. But there should be a lot of interesting things, I think, that can come up in season 2. Just a matter of time and finding out how long we have to wait, I guess. But hopefully this show has enough buzz behind it that they will greenlight a season 2 and get started on it as quickly as possible. Hopefully it won't be like Stranger Things, where we have to wait a year plus in order to get that next series, but let's keep our fingers crossed. Overall, I have to say that this show is absolutely fantastic. Again, it has you hooked episode after episode. That first episode really hooks you in, though. It really digs its claws deep, and it has this pull. But episode after episode, I found myself very engaged with the show, very much on the edge of my seat. There's some things that are a little bit more uncomfortable. Some things maybe you don't necessarily want to see, I guess. Not anything too gruesome or terrible, but just there's a lot of various things happening in the series that may make some people uncomfortable, but it deals with a lot of themes, I think, at the same time that are very interesting and maybe a little bit dramatic, but also still very much relevant in a way, if that makes any sense. But I highly recommend Ozark, and for that reason alone, just for all the performances, the storytelling, everything that's happening in this show, overall grade that I'm going to have to give Ozark is an A+. So guys, those are my thoughts on Ozark. Be sure to check it out if you haven't done so already. The first season is currently streaming on Netflix. You can go straight to any device, cell phone, television, whatever, computer, and you'll be able to watch it. Just give it a try. It's actually really, really good. They're about an episode each, so you get a lot of stuff per episode. It's really good, and I highly recommend it. But those are pretty much all my thoughts and opinions on it. If you have seen it, be sure to leave your thoughts and opinions yourself down in the comment section down below. While you're down there, be sure to leave a like if you feel so inclined and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. But that's pretty much all I have for now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.